Hi, I'm Roxanne Richardson, and this is Technique Tuesday. A few weeks ago in my Casual Friday podcast, I did a demonstration of Make One increases in order to illustrate how easy it can be to remember how to do these types of increases. There are no tricks or mnemonic devices needed. Instead, you use the clues of how the yarn and needles are working together to confirm that you are on the right path. This demonstration was part of a larger segment about how many designers routinely mislabel Make One purl increases in their patterns, which can cause confusion for both new knitters and expert knitters. That demonstration was an eye-opener for many knitters, both new and experienced. I had a number of comments asking me to take that Casual Friday segment and repurpose it as a standalone Technique Tuesday video. What you're about to see is that segment. Okay, so I'm going to quickly show you a Make One left increase. I'm using my left hand needle. I am lifting this strand up. It is leaning left. That means I'm on the right track because I want to do a Make One left. Make One increases need to twist. Anytime you want to do a twisted stitch, whether it's a Make One increase, a twisted knit or a twisted purl, whatever you want to do, if it twists, the way to do that is to work it through the trailing leg of the stitch. The leading leg of the stitch is the one that's closest to the tip. That would be this one coming over the front. The trailing leg is the one coming over the back. It's the one furthest from the tip, and it's connected to the next stitch. So to make this twist, I have to work it through that trailing leg. So that's over the back of the work. So I go through the back, and look, my working needle is pointed left. So I've got so many left things. I lifted with my left needle. It was angled left. My working needle is pointed to the left. All of those clues, and it comes off the needle, and under the needle you can see that it is twisted to the left. So what happens if we do that in a purl stitch? If we lift it the same way, left hand needle lifts that strand, it's going to be angled to the left, and again, if we want something to twist, we have to work through the trailing leg. That's this one. But we are in a purl situation, so I have to purl through that. This time, of course, the needle isn't pointing to the left, but that's fine. We still have enough clues for knowing that we're doing something that leans left. When that comes off the needle, we can look under the stitch and we can see that that stitch is leaned to the left, the one that's right under the needle. So let's get to the end of the row and let's look at what that looks like on the back side. This one that we did just like we did the Make One left here, we did just like that here except that we purled it. We look at it on this side and it is leaning left. So it leans left on both faces of the fabric. And that's because there's two different legs. The leg that's on top is the one that's leaning left as you are looking at it. So if you are doing increases every row and the ones on this edge always have to be leaning to the left, you're going to do a Make One left on the right side of the work and you're going to do a Make One left on the wrong side of the work. Now on this side of the work, it's pointing away from the saddle. On this side of the work, it's going to be pointing toward the saddle. It's still going left, but it is pointing toward the saddle, and that's because relative to this saddle, the position has changed. We've changed that. But all of these are Make One lefts on the right side and the wrong side. All of these are Make One rights on the right side. So this time, I'm going to use my right hand needle. I'm going to lift that strand again from the front, and you see how it is angled to the right? I can put it on that needle. Now I could have just lifted this from the back, But if you have a hard time remembering whether to lift from the front or the back, always lift from the front, but use your left hand needle for a left leaning increase and a right hand needle for a right leaning increase, and you will always get it right. So that is leaning to the right. This time, see how that leading leg is over the back? The leading leg, the one that's closest to the tip, is over the back, and this time the trailing leg is over the front. In order for this to twist, we have to work it through the trailing leg. So that means we go through this way, and for a knit increase this time, we see that our working needle is pointed to the right in order to work this increase. So we have so many clues for how that's going to work. And if you look under the needle, you can see that that is twisting to the right. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with the purl. We're going to use our right hand needle. We're going to lift it up, and we can see that it is angled to the right, so we know we're on the right path. Put it on that needle, and we can see it's still leaning right. And again, in order for it to twist, we have to work it through the trailing leg, which we can see is the one over the front. The make one right purl is the easier one to do because you can just go right through the front here, bring the yarn around, and pull it through. And once again, it does twist to the right. Purl increases are harder to see in the purl background because it's the legs that determine whether something leans, and you really can't see the legs from the purl side. You see the legs from the knit side. But once again, when we look under the needle, we can see this increase right here, and it is twisted to the right. So you use the same exact maneuvers, you have all of the same clues. The only difference is whether you are knitting or purling through that trailing leg. If you are brand new to Make One Increases and found this demonstration to go too fast for you, I do have an older video that demonstrates these concepts more thoroughly, which you can find over here. I also have a video on how to use yarn overs and reverse yarn overs to create Make One Increases, which alleviates the tension issues you can often get with the lifted strand method demonstrated in this video. If you would like to see the larger discussion about designers mislabeling Make One Increases, I will link that podcast episode down in the video description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.